It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Rose.
Hello, hello, my motivated people.
Hello, how are you today?
I am doing so great. Watching the beautiful rain for a second day. It's so gloomy. Today it's
Yeah,
no sunlight, so I'm just gonna have a couple of lights,
you
and
gotta
that's about it.
you gotta be your own ray of sunshine today. It's one of those
Pretty
days at that
much,
point.
yeah.
Well, good. The good news so far is my
I
audio
think I could
seems to
do
be
that.
working. I just
Oh,
tested it, so that's at least I think hopefully fixed. I don't know why it was so broken, but thank you to Morgan for pointing that out last episode. Um,
oh,
but yeah, no, it's same over here. I mean, I think it's I actually my cars are still down, but it is cloudy. It's been raining the last few days, and so um, but at least it's not bitterly cold. It's been bitterly cold like the last like week. Today's like yesterday and the
hmm
day before it was hitting like at least 40, 50 degrees. So it wasn't as cold, but we make the
it
most of it,
was
right?
definitely was warmer.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I wish we would have had a little bit of snow, just to feel that winterland. But we did not have any snow yet. So I'm hoping maybe February will be be generous to
And
me.
snow. Yeah. That's it's funny. Somebody was telling me the same thing. They're like, they hope that it snows at least a little bit more because it feels like this winter it didn't do a lot. Because even in like the last few years, it hasn't been like terrible. But I think he was talking about like winter storms back in like the 2010s, like the times where like it snowed so much that like the snow would last for like almost like 2 3 weeks, and it was like so high. And he was telling me he has
Yes.
like a brother-in-law in the snow plowing business, and like business was good, but now it's like he had like I think he said like 12 to 15 trucks, but like the last few years they've only needed like two or three trucks. That's how less it's been snowing. But I mean I don't know how the weather's going, especially after this week being pretty warm, and it's back to being like 30s and 40s. I mean, I'm not gonna also complain just because like I like warmer weather. um I think for me the just the lack of sun in the evening is what bothers me. Like I don't like leaving work at 5 o'clock and it's already like dark, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I like coming home with a little light, so then I can, if I wanted to, I can go outside or I can go to the gym or take my daughter, for a walk or something like that.
Mhm.
But it is what it is.
It's a cozy day today. It's my mom's side, my first cousin's birthday. I want to say happy birthday, cousin.
Oh, there you go. Happy
I
birthday.
yes, I remember him saying, like when I was like maybe 12 or 14, he used to say like if we wouldn't be like cousins, I would marry you. And that's
Wow.
that type of
I mean,
cousin. So I was like, okay.
I'm sure
So
sentimental, obviously, but
and yes,
yeah.
yes. And I remember when he had his first child, and I made a beautiful package with all kinds of beautiful New York a little baby stuff, when I used to live in New York. So it was cute. I'm sure he still saved all of those cute jackets and sweaters. And I'm so proud of him. His son became champion of all kinds of martial arts. He has so many belts, so many championships. He became a hero in my town, which is 1 million population. So he definitely made us proud. Let's put it that way. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday. No, that's awesome. It's nice
Yeah.
to have uh um what's the word I'm looking for awards or achievements and things that you're passionate about. And I'm happy you shared that because so I have like, I guess like the two things to talk about there. So unfortunately, just this past few days, like we have some family pets at home, so we have cats. Like we're cat people, unfortunately. I mean, I want a dog, but we have too many cats for that. um One of my brother's cats unfortunately passed away like about 2 nights ago,
Oh.
and he was like devastated. And a lot of people were like, well, it's just a, whatever, it's just a cat, right? But this cat we had since she was born, and she was like the most protective type of cat. Like she always wanted cuddles, right? Like if you sat, she would come next to you and just like plop on you. She had really bad back legs. There's something wrong with her back legs. We're not exactly sure, but we didn't like get surgery or anything for her. But you know, she couldn't walk straight. She would kind of like tumble and walk everywhere, but she would make the best out of it. She would walk as best as she could. But like she would always just kind of like be there for you. And to my brother, like she was always there for my brother. Like whenever he was having a bad day, whenever whatever, like a lot of cats would like walk around, meow at him, and just like kind of try to get his attention. This cat would always just go up to him, lay next to him, and just lay there. You know, it's kind of like, um, when as adults we don't know how to handle like bad days or bad situations, like we complain or we
Mhm.
cry and things like that. But like if we go to our kids and we cry, like if I start crying for my kid, right, she won't necessarily start like crying. She won't understand what's happening, but she'll think a hug will fix it. It's like this cat was the equivalent to that. Is the cat's not exactly sure what's happening, but she feels like if she comes up to you and lays with you and purrs with you and stuff like that, that she'll like that's her form of care. And she passed away, and my like it was like the middle of the night. It was like around like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was about to lay down to go to sleep, and my brother, like, he's like, hey, can you come to the room? And like when he had said that, I had sensed something was wrong, because she has been sick for a little bit of time, but I figured, I was like, this sounds like it's it. And he was crying, and he was devastated. And I shed a tear, a few. But the thing is, like, I try to hold this mentality in my head. And granted that, like, maybe I might not have been as close to the cat as he was, but like I try to think of all like the good things, like the good times. I was like, this cat was born. She lived like 15 years or so, right? So she lived like a decent amount of time. And I was like, you just got to remember, it's tough, especially at the time of death. You got to remember the good moments. You got to remember the good times that you had. And I remember all the funny moments that me and the cat had. I remember the moments that like she wanted to lay down with me, and like whenever like she laid down near my head, she would always like lick me, because she felt like she would like lick my hair, because she felt like she needed to groom me as a mother. Like she was like, I need to look after like my children and things like that. So she was a very caring cat. And we want to wish Bella, uh, a peaceful life in heaven, and in cat heaven, where she can be carefree and do what
Yes.
she wants.
Mhm.
But she was a valuable member of the family. And it happened so late. And the next day, Friday morning, I had work, and I had told work, I was like, listen, I'm gonna come in a few hours late. My brother and I did like a few prayers, and then we buried my cat. And I had to explain to my daughter that my cat passed away too, right? The cat passed away, and she has, for a 3.5-year-old. Like, I mean, I didn't want to just say, oh yeah, this cat died. Like, I had to explain, like, she was old, she was sick, and she passed away. And my daughter kind of already experienced death in a small sense, because we had a fish, and the fish died. And it died mainly because I'm not good at taking care of, like, well, the problem was like the water. The water had too
Mhm.
much, like, not
It wasn't
chemicals per
filtering.
se. It
Yeah.
wasn't filtering right, and it's probably because it was tap water, and we didn't really know, and we didn't have test kits at the time. So by the time I got a test kit, it passed. So I told her, I was like, maybe we
Oh.
can get another small fish, but I want to master the art of the fish tank first. So I'm still in the midst of doing that. So she she wanted to do a proper burial for the fish that we had for like a week and a half. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So we gave it a proper burial. We dug up a hole, we put it in it. She like prayed, she said some nice words, she put a flower on it. I was like, this kid is ready to go. So she did the same thing with Bella. And like she wanted to come, and
I
she kept
love.
like hugging my brother, and she said, it's okay. Like Bella's with the fish's name was Hermione. She's like,
Mhm.
Bella's with Hermione now. They're all together, they're all happy, and they're all having fun. So even her mentality about death happening, like she was sad because she cried too, but she was just like, they're in better places. They're in better places now. They're happy. Don't worry about it. So I'm happy and proud of my kid having that mentality, right? So that was that. But then also on Friday, I like I said, I appreciate you sharing this
I want to say
the
hello to the
oh
Larry in the
yeah.
chat.
Hey,
Hi, Larry.
Larry, it's good to see you. How are you feeling?
Good
You're
to see
having a good
you.
conversation with Sanjay. Good. Hey, good. How are you, Larry? I hope everything is well.
Thank you, Larry.
Um,
And sorry for
no, no,
beautiful Bella.
no. Thank you. Um, but like I said, I just tried to stay a little bit more positive about it. I bought when I came home yesterday. So yesterday, I'll show you later. Maybe we should start. I gotta start making updating like the Facebook page and stuff. But I got a tattoo yesterday, right? Um,
Ooh.
I
Okay,
got
now.
I got a tattoo on my other arm on the under the left side. I'll show you later if anything. But um, the thing with getting the tattoo is this, right? So I have a coworker who I'm cool with, like we're really good friends, and I came to learn that his girlfriend is a tattoo artist. So I was like, oh, okay, that works out because I kind of want to get a tattoo. So maybe I can, get a tattoo from her. So he's like, oh yeah, that'd be cool, because it'd be business for her, and like we're friends at that point, so why not? And like I've experienced, like, I mean, the tattoo artist that did my other two tattoos, or my other one tattoo, like I saw how much like how passionate she was about like doing tattoos and making sure the artwork is right and everything. And it's awesome to like have met someone else that's exactly the same. So when I met her and like we talked about the tattoo I wanted, it was a small tattoo, but like she put a lot of effort into it. Like she put a lot of like detail and effort on it, and like every little thing she did was to perfect it better, right? And then she was like apologizing. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure everything is perfect. I want to make sure everything is like yeah, amazing." And I'm looking at it. I'm like, "But it's already amazing." And like she's like, "Yeah, but like I'm kind of a like she likes to get the fine detail on everything." Right,
Yeah.
and she's like, I
Hmm.
know that might be weird, and I was like, I'm
She
guessing she
might be
must have
Virgo.
maybe. Actually, I should probably find out. But actually, I think she might be. Her birthday wasn't too long ago. But anyway,
Yes, that's probably Virgo saying
but
speak.
like my thing was just that like she was so passionate about it. She's like she kept apologizing because she's like like I'm sorry. I know I'm taking up more time and things. And I'm like no, like if I came here to get a tattoo, right?
Yes.
I'm not coming in here and expecting to just like come in and be like, all right, you got a half hour and then I'm out. Like you got to do this tattoo in a half hour and I'm out. But like maybe some people have that expectation. I didn't, but she was just like apologizing. The tattoo took a little bit, like about an hour, right? And I didn't think about it. I just kind of laid there. And because like for my arm to be in certain positions, it's like tough. So she's like, "Oh, just lay down," and I'm like, "Okay." And I lay down, and she's like, "Are you comfortable?" I was like, "Yeah, no, this is fine. I'm good with this." So, she took the time and I was like, like I was just watching her do the tattoo and I can see her like intense focus. I can see her like attention to detail, I could see that like here and there she would literally like, tattoo, clean, step back, take a break, like not a break, but she would take a step back and just like look over it and like like you could see her eye like scanning. It's almost like watching a computer scan a document. She was like
Uh-huh.
just scanning that tattoo, like, all right, I think this is lined up. And I remember like we were almost done, and she's like, oh wait, there's one more thing, right? So I watched in detail what the one more thing was. It was maybe like two dots that she wanted to fix, and it was like if you're not that close, you wouldn't even notice, right? So like the
Hmm.
fact that she could see it from like that, I was like, that's crazy. So she finished, you know, and I was just like, like thank you so much. Like I love it. Like I'll send a picture later. It's just it's I don't know how well you know Star Wars, but it's Darth Vader's helmet. Because I've been a huge Star Wars fan and I love Darth
Okay.
Vader, so I got his helmet tattooed like on my underarm or like where my scar is for my arm. And it came out great. It came out amazing, and I love it. And I just told her, then she was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it took up so much time and everything." I was like, "Here's the thing," I was like, "You took your time for something you're very passionate about, and I appreciate that. I really do." I'm like, I don't know if other people maybe like say like, "Oh, you took forever" or anything like that, but it kind of reminded me of like when I was a bit younger, I had a barber that I would always go to. And I don't know what it's like for women, but I'll say for guys, like it's very very hard for us to find a good barber. So when we find the one barber, like you're the
It is
brother that we go to, and that's it,
very
right?
hard.
So
Yes.
he had moved to, ironically, he moved to Atlanta. So maybe I could find him out there. Um, but because he was telling me he's gonna move
Okay.
in with this girl. But I used to go get a haircut from him, and he used to take like 45 minutes to an hour. Now I don't have the greatest hair. I don't have a whole crazy design. I just need a straight haircut, and that's it, right? And he would almost perfect, do his best to perfect what he did with my hair, and like he would take his time. He would like, and like the thing is, like, I never felt like it took forever because we just had casual conversations, just like me and this
Mhm.
tattoo artist did, right? We just had casual conversations. Like she was just like, oh, how do you like working there and things like that, because she knew I worked with her boyfriend. And I was like, it's all right, but like he's gonna leave soon and I'm gonna miss him and blah blah blah. So like time just passed without things happening. And like I just like, I'm so appreciative of people who actually care about their work. And I don't know how often you would see something like that, right? But I do feel like I do see that more and more. So people are in situations where they work as maybe cashiers at ShopRite, or they work as coffee makers or whatever at like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts and things like that,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes you go in and you can tell that some of these people, like, yeah, and it's fine. I'm not trying to say anything wrong with it. They go in, they want to do their job, and they want to leave, right? But some of these people go in such enthusiasm, it's crazy, right? They're just like, I remember one day I went to Starbucks to get coffee because my wife wanted to go, and we go, and uh the guy at the counter is like super nice. Like he's seen me a few times because we used to go like every weekend. And my daughter's always with me, and my daughter always wants a cake pop whenever we goes. Does she finish the cake pop? No, but that's a different story, right? But she always wants a cake pop whenever we go. So like we started going so much to the point that every week it was like the same. So we would go to Starbucks. And like when we come to the counter, she's like, "Hello." He's like, "Hello, princess. Which one do you want today?" Like there's no reason for him to have to do this, right? But he was just like, "Which one do you want? Do you want this one? This one tastes like
Yeah.
strawberry." And it was like Christmas time, so maybe he was like extra merry. But he's like, "We have one that looks like Santa Claus. We have one that looks like a reindeer. Like, which one do you want? This is chocolate." And he would like give it to her, like personally hand it to her, and he would actually like hand it to her before I even pay. And I'm like, dude, let me pay and do everything first. But he knew, like, obviously he knew I was gonna pay and whatnot. But like, he made the experience more enjoyable for my daughter, because then my daughter was just like ready to accept it, right? Um, and like, I appreciate that my daughter's also shares that enthusiasm too. She's like, I want this one this time. Thank you so much. And like, she says thank you. She says excuse, like she says everything proper, right? And I don't remember how much you know about Jersey, but like, if you ever have gone to Woodbridge Mall,
Okay.
um there's a carousel in the mall, like a small one. It's not huge, right?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
it's owned by a few different people, and there's normally a lady that works there, and like she just kind of, for the most part, she just kind of like, when people come to go on the carousel, the people take the payment, and then she starts the carousel, and then she sits there on her phone, or she just kind of like looks around as kids are on the carousel. They're having fun, they're not having fun. She didn't really think about it, right? So when I started going with my daughter likes to sit on the outside edge, right? So every time she went in a full circle, she would reach out and give this lady a high five, right?
Oh wow.
Every time. And
Okay.
she probably went around like maybe like 8 to 12 times, depending, right? And every single time my daughter went around, she would reach out to give a high five. And it got to the point that every time we come with my daughter now, like she says hi to my daughter. Like people remember these small moments where it's just like,
Mhm.
yeah, I have this job where like I have to just pay and put kids on the carousel. But like my kid made it more of an experience for the lady, because she's like reaching out. She's like, here's a high five. She'd say thank you. She'd give a high five when she's leaving. And the lady remember us every single time we come now. So like every time that she comes, like she used to go from like being on her phone all the time, right? So like she sees my daughter sitting on the outside edge, and would give her a high five every time she comes in the circle. but it's just like it's the little things we do in that sense that like I think it makes people appreciate what they do a little bit more. But I love people who kind of love what
That's so
you know,
amazing.
like they might not be where they want to be. And I think that's why, like, even when it came to my job, I might not be where I want to be, but like it's the little things that, like, make us
It's a
happy and maybe,
journey, right? That's a
yeah.
beautiful journey.
um and I think that's why, and I know we talked a little bit before the podcast about like my job and how things are going, and like I was telling you, it's like the same boat. I can't say it's necessarily getting better or worse, but one very interesting thing did happen was that, I just did my job because it's my job. But somebody reached out to me a day after Christmas, and the whole office, the whole business is shut down. No one is working, but we're there because we were doing inventory, so we had to go in, and one lady had reached out and I just happened to see that she was calling, so I answered. And she was having some password issues. She couldn't log in. And I was like, whatever, like I'm here. I'll fix it, right? So after New Year's had ended, she came by and she gave me like a little card, right? Because
No.
like a lot of people, they told us they appreciate our efforts and they say, like, Happy New Year and stuff like that. And even that I'm grateful for, because I'm like, it's fine, like we're just doing our job, right? But this one lady went out of her way, gave us a card, and I was like, okay, like I'm already happy about having a card, like, thank you for this. And I opened the card and I take it out and I'm like, why does this feel heavy? This shouldn't feel heavy, right? So I opened the card and she gave us a $50 gift card. And I was just like, you didn't need to do this. I was like, what is this? You don't need to do. She gave one for each of the people that work on my
Oh,
team.
wow.
And I was just like, you don't need to do this. Like I would have been happy with just a card. Like I was just so surprised. And she's like, honestly, like you guys are the unsung. She's like, you guys are the unsung heroes. Like you guys go out of your way to help people, and maybe you guys don't feel that appreciation. But she's like, I just wanted
Right.
you to know that I appreciate you and things like that, and we appreciate you. And I was like, I almost started crying because I was like, oh, you didn't need to do this. Now I have a
See?
little gift card. I'm about to go to the mall today, get myself a nice shirt or something. I don't know. But like I was just like, what is this? You didn't need to do this. But it was, it's such a like a kind gesture, and like that's why I go back and forth, because people still reach out to me for job offers, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Like at the end of the day, it's a job, and I know that these people, like, even if I do leave, they'll be sad that I'm leaving, but they'll understand that I need to do what I need to do, right? But like even before that, they show like a level of appreciation. And there's a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
people now that I go to the office, they'll come to me, they'll chit chat with me, they have me like try different foods. um I think most of the time we have a lot of meetings, our company orders
Yes.
lunch or like breakfast or lunch for them. Now people come by when they have these food and they're like, go get food, hurry up, there's food in the kitchen, go get it. And like me and my colleague would get up, we'll grab like a sandwich and we'll go back to our desks. So then like people look after us for if there's ever food in the office.
That is amazing. I see you started, Lily Bear started posting videos, reels
Oh
of
my
all the
god.
fun parts. I was like, wow, this is like a memorabilia here. I love it. You guys had a great time in New York.
Yeah, we had a really good time. We actually thought the Rockefeller Center tree was going to be a little um uh like less crowded, but it was as crowded, if not more crowded. So we didn't get as close as we wanted to, or we didn't see the ice skating rink or anything. But the worst part of it was that it was really cold, right? But we got a decent
Mm-hmm.
picture in. We went out there. Our early dinner, or late lunch, early dinner was dollar slice pizza right outside Madison Square Garden. Something
Yes.
simple. Um, we got some. I think we got some hot chocolate. So like she had fun. She had fun on the train. Like I think I'm gonna, like, once the weather gets warmer, me and my daughter are just gonna go on the train and just travel, right? But she had so much
Yes.
fun on the train, and she wanted to experience it as a true New Yorker. So, like, the trains were crowded.
Oh,
All the trains were crowded. Um, yeah, like, you know how you took like the NJ Transit train,
yeah.
when you're in New Jersey. So we took the same train, kind of going to New York, right? And it was crowded, but we found seating. She fell by accident at one point because we sat on the lower floor where like the floor, yeah, like you sat in the same area where
Yes.
you sit is where you sit, but then you have to step down for the walkway. and she went to step. She didn't realize she was step down, so she fell, and like she didn't get hurt, but like the fall surprised her. And before I could even get up, a stranger had come in and had picked her up and was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she, he helped her up and she sat down, right? And she didn't get hurt, but she got embarrassed and she cried because she was embarrassed.
Oh.
And I was like, "It's okay, baby." And like the people around were like, "Oh, is she okay?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, she's fine." And like we started laughing. Actually, like I got scared, and like she was just joking around. So like whenever something happens where we know she didn't get hurt, we kind of laugh it off. We kind of just make her
Yeah.
laugh it off, and she does a good job with it. But like when we went onto the subway, like it was so crowded that we couldn't sit at all, right? And my wife and I decided to stand because we're like, I'm used to standing. I'll just stand. My wife was like, I'll stand too. And like people were like, hey, would you like to sit to my daughter? And she was just straight up like, no, thank you. I'm gonna just stand. And like she would just hold like the little the metal pole or whatever,
Yeah.
and like the train
Yeah.
would go and we'd just all be like, and then like like so I like start moving,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like she enjoyed standing. And I remember the later time, like there was a seat that became vacant because the one lady got off and a new lady got on, and she had like a box of pizza, right? And she was about to sit down and she asked us, she's like, oh, do any of you want to sit? And we're like, no, good. And she looks at my daughter and she's like, oh, do you want to sit? She's like, no, ma'am, you could sit. And I was like, what the, did you just say no, ma'am, you can sit? What the heck? I was like thrown off. And she's like, oh, she's like, you're so kind. She's like, thank you. She's like, no, I like standing. And then like out of nowhere, she's like, we went to the Harry Potter store and I was looking at all the wands. And she starts talking to this random lady. And then she's like, oh, what's in the box? And she's like, oh, I got pizza. She's like, oh, we had pizza for lunch. It was so good. And like she just like kept talking. And like the lady asked us, she's like, how old is your daughter? And we're like, she's like 3.5, right? And she's like, oh my god, she's so good at talking for 3.5. And like, yeah, we know. And then she's like, she, and like the lady asked, she's like, are you sure you don't want to sit? Right before that I was like, oh, Lily, we're gonna get off on the next stop. So she told the lady, she's like, no, we're gonna get off soon, and then we're gonna go see the tree. Have you seen the tree? And like she just kept talking. And then like the second we started getting off, like everyone heard this conversation, so everyone was like, "Aw," and then like she was getting off. She's like, "Okay, bye, have a good day," and like we're
That
getting
is
off.
so sweet.
So she we had a blast,
That's
and it was.
amazing. Have you ever? Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it was our first time. It was our first time taking her to New York, and I was actually kind of worried that, like, with the hustle and the bustle and the things like that, she was very good at walking in New York. She walks kind of like the
She
way I
would
do, where,
not get lost.
yeah, no, she'll
With
get.
her ability to speak to anyone, she would not get lost.
I think in that sense she'll know how to like talk, like how to get to someone here and there. But like my thing is like, well, sometimes when I walk in New York, I walk how I drive, right? So I walk a little bit fast, but then like if I see someone coming my way at a certain angle, I know they'll block me or they're not gonna go through me. So I'll stop or I'll turn
Yeah.
or things like that. So I would hold her hand and we would just like abruptly stop and then just turn and walk around the person and stuff like that. And she handled it well because like when I stopped, she would stop on that dime too. Like she wouldn't hesitate. She just like stop, turn, we go around. So I'm not too worried about. I was kind of worried about how people walk in New York. Like they rush past you, they
Yeah.
bump into you and stuff like that. I mean, they did with me and my wife, but with her, they like it was like natural to them. They would just like walk around her peacefully and not be in her way, or if we're holding hands and we're kind of separated,
Yeah.
they would go around her instead of me or go through my arms or anything like that. So it was a very good time, and once the weather
Yes.
gets warmer.
Have you ever taken ferry from Staten Island?
No, from
That
set.
is amazing, right? So you go to Staten Island, you park your car,
Hmm.
right? You can leave it in there, and the ferry is absolutely free, and it's 30-minute ride from Staten Island to New York. And while you're riding on that boat, which is amazing, you can see by the window, you can see the whole skyline, Statue of Liberty, and you're passing by her as well. It is so amazing. When you have a chance, definitely do that with Lily and your wife.
Mm.
It's unforgettable. You get off at the Battery Park, you walk around there. There's a World Trade Center, and you can walk there to Canal Street and Mulberry Street, all the beautiful stuff. And two fun facts I know exactly about New York. And number one is 80,000 people walk by Rockefeller Cemetery every single day. And I'm sure you
Yeah.
experience that 80,000 people. And the second fun fact, in the city itself in Manhattan, every corner has a pizzeria. So that's why it's very important to have some pizza in New York. And I think it's called Two Brothers, when you
Yeah.
can have two slices of pizza and a can of Coke for like 2.99 or something.
Yeah.
It's like
Like whenever we go
unheard
to New York, like if we
of.
don't like we're gonna get hungry, because don't get me
It's
wrong.
a sin not to have a pizza in New York.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, but I think somebody did like a study. Ironically, the pizza in Jersey is better. People have said, but like you have to find the spots in
Really?
Jersey. Yeah, there's a few places where I had pizza comparable to New York, but I don't. I can safely say I don't think I've gotten pizza anywhere else but New York yet. That, like I said, like there's hole in the wall places in New York,
I
which is
mean, mango
absolutely
pizza is good.
no, but like the thing is, like if like I said, there's hole in the wall places in New York that are fantastic, right? But if
Mhm.
I know I'm going to New York and I know I'm gonna be hungry, to be able to go into this like city by train or bus, right? We normally take the bus, and right
Yeah.
outside um uh Penn Station, right, is that 99-cent slice place, right? Like I said, like we got two slices of pizza and soda for 250, right? And even like a like if you want to like my wife wanted a pepperoni slice or something like that, it's 150 per slice.
Yep.
150. If I go to the mall right now and go get a slice of pizza, just cheese is 450,
450.
which is insane, right? Over there, so like if I go over there, I can get myself um three slices of pizza and a soda, and it'll be like it would be 450 itself for three slices and a soda. And so whenever I decide to go to New York, I'm like, I'm gonna eat here, and if I get hungry later, I'll have dinner out somewhere or whatever. But I'm not gonna go to New York hungry and then go out somewhere and eat, because I know I'm gonna spend like 30, 40, $50 somewhere, you know. But I
Yeah.
love just like going to New York. I love seeing the different places. I think I told you there was a bar I went to where like you can have drinks, and then after you're done drinking your drinks in your glass, there's a room you can go to in the back and just throw the glass at a wall. And like oh, did I ever tell you? I never told you.
No, you did
Oh shit.
not.
Okay.
What place is this? Let
So
me write that
so
down.
I label I labeled this podcast the new things we do in 2026. Maybe if you come up to New York, I'll take you, right? But
Yay!
but it's a
Things to
plate.
do in New York.
It's a thing. It's a place where I guess people. It's for people who are stressed, and like if they want to just kind of, when the people get angry, they throw things, right? So
Yeah.
this bar is for that purpose, right? So my friend and I went. Like we had a job. I had a job offer, and he met me in New York, and we went out for lunch, drinks, and it was a bar he went
Mhm.
to, and it was a good time. Like we had a decent amount to drink, and they had a thing where they have a back room. You got to put on like safety glasses and stuff like that, and it's a good distance of space, but like essentially you stand on one side. There's a wall in front of you that's about like chest high, and then there's a very big opening in front of you. And you finish your drink, you sign a waiver, you go to the back room and you just chuck the glass at the wall, and it just shatters, and there's like it doesn't come back to you, so it doesn't like hurt you or scratch you or anything like
Yeah.
that. So you have to make sure you throw it at the back wall. And like sometimes they gave us empty bottles that they had, like empty bottles of Jack Daniels and stuff like that, and you would just like launch it at the back wall. And it was such a perfect timing for me to go, because I was like going through a lot and I was looking for a job, so I was very stressed about a
Wow.
lot. So like the fact that we went out over there and we're just like breaking glasses, like it felt refreshing. They have like the same thing. They have the equivalent to like what is it called? I think it's called like a crash out room, where they have a room full of stuff you can break, and they give you a bat, they give you a hammer, they give you whatever, and you just break everything, and like it's a paid experience, but then like that prevents you from doing that shit at
That is
home.
cool.
Yeah,
I
so
remember one year for my birthday, my girls took me to the X throwing. It was
oh yeah,
so
we've done
much
that too.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely similar to, if you really want to,
We went to we did that for my
let it out.
one of my friends for his bachelor party. We went to go axe throwing, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like scary at times, because like if you don't, you really have to throw that right to make sure it hits it. Because if you also
It
throw it
hits
wrong, it bounces back, and sometimes it comes flying back at you, and you're not ready for it.
it.
But it was a good time. But
Yes, we had this, yeah, wood, and the thing is, when somebody already throws so much, there's this hole, like it's not even sticking to the wood anymore. So you would definitely have to throw it, know how you're throwing it, otherwise it's not gonna stick to the wood.
yeah. That no, so it's funny. So like a
Fun
lot of stuff,
times.
I like definitely is fitting to the episode. I wanted to label today as the new things we want to do for 2026. And like I said, just like getting the tattoo was like a fun experience for me. Uh,
Hmm.
Getting appreciation from like at work was like a different level for me here too. Um, and I think I was gonna say another inspirational thing was like my wife was telling me that like she just like near the end of December she started reading again. So I forgot what book she got that. Oh, she wants to read it. So we finished
Okay.
watching. Yeah, she we finished watching Welcome to Dairy, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I know it's based off a book, right?" So when we went to Cape May, she bought the book because it was they had it there. So I was like, "All right, let's buy the book." And ever since then, she's read like from like around December 19th to about now, which is January 9th. She's read about 8 books, like and like decently sized books. And we got books from my sister-in-law.
Amazing.
We bought
Hmm.
more books from the library. So like she got back into reading, and she's like, the last time I read was like my first boyfriend, which was like ages ago, right? And I was like, I don't know which one I am now at this point.
The
Whatever. But she's like, but she was like, that was like the
last
last
one.
time. Yeah, right. She was like that was like the last time I read. So like normally my wife and I try to play video games together because I wanted to do that again. And I asked her like the last few nights. I was like, hey, like none of my friends are really around. Do you want to play games tonight? And she's like, no, I want to read. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, I want to play video games. Like, you read all day. Let's do this. But like, she wanted to start doing new things, and like reading was one of them. So
That is
like,
definitely
it's really
amazing.
inspirational because I was like, that's good for you that like you want to get back into reading. Um, and yeah, it's just like even like this year we're hoping to do some travel. Like I really am trying to fly out to California again to visit my friend, but
Yes, for the
but I want to,
Disney.
yeah, and yeah, I want to bring my family with me this time because I went with my friend, and like Disney in California I think is a good start because it's a little bit smaller, so I feel
On the
like
high end.
in a
Hmm.
day we can see a good amount, you know. And Universal's not that far away either. So I was talking to my friend, and I was like, how should we do this? And she's like, honestly, if you guys want to do both, we can probably do both. So I was like, we can figure it out, but I definitely want to kind of fly out this year if I can. And I was hoping maybe around March, or if not March, then like August, September. But this is gonna be the year my daughter actually goes to school too.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of new things happening this year.
Definitely happening.
So it's gonna be quite the experience. But how about you? I know I've been talking your ear off this entire time.
I love all of the stories. It's great to
What's
reflect and remember the memories, right? Fun times and all the things that we did, because that's the journey, right? I love this life that we call journey. To remember the good things and creating more great things, right? So it's just like um I was doing, I started my cleaning thing, and this one lady, she wants to do cleaning once a month. I was like, okay. So now she's like, oh, I'm just gonna start picking you up. I was like, wow, okay. So now she comes in her big RV Lexus, and this car, which I don't really, I like you, right? No matter what car.
yeah,
So she picks me up with this beautiful car, and she's like, "Oh, I just want to pick you up all the time." I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm that of a great
yeah,
a professional, right? That you want to pick me up now." She was so definitely grateful. She's like, "Oh my God, it's such a beautiful thing." And I was just this year, I really want to focus on health. Do
mm,
want to
same.
focus on health. I have been doing a lot of health journey. Mm, I want to definitely want to go do my blood work. I want to check my ferritin level. I want to check my iron level because I do know those tend to have the lower on the scale for a lot of people. Like the D and iron usually goes a little lower.
Hmm.
Depends on what we eat. So I definitely want to check that. I want to be on my healthy journey and on my wealthy journey because,
There you go.
as we know, having something in your pocket, it feels better than having nothing in your pocket. So, and
Yeah.
so,
No, I like. I mean, I know exactly what you mean there. Like, cause for me, like for a while, like I just kind of, I think it was, we talked about it the last few podcasts about we're not maybe where we want to be, right? Because
yes,
we both of us comfortably, I can say, we both had experiences this year where like we've been through stuff, right? Either whether it was personal or whether it was work, right? And we had times where we both ranted. I think we have like dedicated episodes at this point about your journey with your Gordon Ramsay restaurant experience, and then my journey with like the job I have now and things like that. But like really setting aside the fact that some of the stuff is out of your control, right? But the thing is, even though that there's some stuff that is out of your control, there's still so much that is in control, right? So like me deciding a few things like, oh, like I wanted to go get a tattoo. Oh, you know what, let me take my kid to New York. Or my wife saying, you know what, let me
yes.
get into reading. And um I actually got into um some stuff for motivation station. Like I'm working on it right now with some people, right? And
Mhm.
I shipped stuff over to you. I don't know when it's coming, but it
Ooh.
should be on its way. So by the time the
You
next
know what
podcast
it,
comes.
wow. Okay, you know what it is? On the 13th, on the January 13th, I mentioned it last week that we in my culture we're celebrating Old New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make it traditional as well. I did the New Year traditional. I wanted to bring out the traditional in me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started making a beautiful hat, like handmade hat. I'm making it from 15th century. Like my queen was wearing it. There's a lot of coins in there. It's gonna come out like a beautifully. I want to actually do the full outfit and maybe do some photo shoot. It's gonna come out. I love doing stuff like that, and I cannot wait to show that a showpiece. And on my traditional old New Year, the same way that we celebrate New Year, we do Old New Year.
Mm-hmm.
Also been burning wishes. I'm down to I have one more wish to burn tomorrow, and after tomorrow, I'm gonna review my goal to myself.
There
I'm
you
like, okay. And on that 13th, the thing is, when I did the first unboxing, a lot of people was like, "We want to send you some gifts too." I was like, "Okay." Out of nowhere,
go.
I have a second patch of gifts under the tree. The tree's still
Yeah,
standing.
I see it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm gonna be doing another unpacking, and if your gifts arrive right on time, which I think it will, because
Mm.
we still have time,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be opening up on the video as well, and it's just so amazing. I have been working on my inner child. Right now, I'm making a box. It's for 30 days.
Mm.
Box love to your inner child, and you write down 30 things you want to do. Like you ask your inner child, what do you want? And you write down 30 things that you want to do.
Mm.
Basically, not you, your inner child. And you do that every day for 30 days. And that's how you heal yourself from inside. And it's been it's been a journey. I'm so glad that you guys doing so many new things. Christine started reading again, and I'm doing all these things to healing with myself. If you ever anybody wants to do that box, it's such an amazing thing to do for your own inner child. Just to give everything that maybe when you were a child you wanted that toy that you never got, right? And now you as an adult can give it to him.
Yeah.
Like, here, little Sanjay, you
Yeah.
wanted that whatever toy, that red car. I'm just
It.
remembering red Ferrari because my mom was selling those,
Yeah.
like a red Ferrari cars. That's why I remember that car. I'm like,
No,
maybe you wanted that car.
it's funny because like I thought the same thing too, because I'm sitting there and like I think there might have been points in my life where I just thought like, oh, I'm running so behind, like um like I'm not caught up where I want to be. I'm not in a career yet. I'm not here. And like I was too focused on the stuff that I'm not. I'm not, until I started focusing the stuff that I have done,
I
like,
am. Yeah.
I've been blessed to be married. I'm blessed to have a daughter, right? I have cars, like I have cars, like I can say car ours as a multiple, right?
Yes.
Like I've had experiences where I had cars and lost cars and I got more cars, right? I grew up, I think I shared a story of I was huge on video games because I just kind of grew up with that and I loved video games. And I remember begging my mom for a Sega Genesis when I was like a kid, and it was like $30, and like I was like, "Come on, mom, it's only like $30," And I never understood the true value of what the hell $30 meant back then. And like my mom was more focused on, oh, but if you get this gaming system, are you gonna focus on school and stuff like that? I was like, yeah, I promise, I'll
Yeah.
be studious, I'll be good, and I was for the most part. Like I was a studious person, right? But like I remember just like
Mhm.
like begging for it, and now I'm at an age where like I have all the consoles. I have everything, all the like, I was always behind in consoles in the sense of like people had like a higher console, and then I would get the older console. But now I'm like caught up that I have everything that's out right now, right? Except for like Switch 2 or whatever. But like now I'm able to buy these things on my own. I'm able to buy these things for my daughter, right? And it's funny because the other thing is like what's new to me, and there's I forgot the name of the song, but there's a song lyric that goes something along the lines that like I never understood my father until my hair started turning gray too, right? So what that means is like when I was a kid and my dad was getting older, and his hair started going gray, like he was a certain way, like my father was a certain way. But it wasn't until I started growing gray hair myself that I understood where he stood, like how he stood to be a father as well. And I'm like thinking, there's days where I come home and I'm exhausted and I felt bad because like my daughter wants to play with me and things like that. And when I look back, my dad was in the same boat. There's days that he came home
Yeah.
exhausted and he asked me like, hey, son, can you massage my legs? And I did it because I didn't think about like, oh, his legs hurt or anything like that. I was just like, well, my dad's asking me to do something for him, so I'm gonna do it. But like, I came home and I remember like if I come home if I come home and I lay down, that's a wrap. I'm falling asleep and like that's it. And that's why I try to stay out of my bed like when I come home from work. But some days I'm exhausted, I want to lay down. I ask my daughter, I'm like, let's watch a movie, and I can feel myself fading out as I'm watching the movie, right? But that's exactly how my dad was like he would come home from maybe a job that he wasn't really happy at. He just did the job to be a family man. He was a cashier. He was a cashier at like a lot of different places.
Spending all
But
day.
like
Mhm.
I would like to say I think I got my enthusiasm from him. Because like every time I remember watching my dad work when I was younger, and I remember there's times where he saw customers that were regulars that he knew, and he would talk to them, he would smile at them, he would laugh with them. I think one of my fondest memories, I mean, my dad's still around, but one of my fondest memories with my
Yeah.
dad is that like no matter like when we're in a setting where there's multiple people, like if there's family that visits, there's friends that visit, right? My dad always cracks a joke, always 100% of the time cracks a joke to lighten the tension in the room, to make people laugh and smile, right? And that's exactly how I am. I always try to make somebody laugh, I always try to make somebody smile. And I'm like, why am I like this? And it's like I'm literally a spitting image of my dad, you know and I'm sure like when we were growing up, we like I'm like my dad in the sense that when I look at my kid, I want to try to give her everything I can. Sometimes I can give her, and like she doesn't ask for a lot, thankfully. But like sometimes I'm able to provide, sometimes I'm not. And I think it's safe to say now that I know what my dad feels like when I was a kid and when I was asking for stuff, you know. And I think that after a certain age, I stopped asking for stuff. But my dad felt disappointed that he couldn't give me stuff, but it came
Mhm.
at a later age. Like I think, remember when I shared the story of me getting my first car, and
Yeah.
to him it was like, well, this is an old car, this is like a dumpy car. I was like, no man, this is my dream car. And he's like, I don't understand, like why is your dream car such an old car? Like you should be dreaming of getting a Mercedes or getting a
Yeah.
BMW. And I'm like, I never really cared for that. Like what I cared for was what made me happy, right? So I am doing my best to kind of not raise Lily that way per se, but like carry that ideal down to Lily. That hey, sometimes we can't get everything that we can, and make her understand why I can't. But the way I'm doing it differently is that like my dad didn't want me to see that side of life. And it, rightfully so. Like I'm sure my dad didn't want me to see that. Hey, we don't have all the money in the world. We can't get all the luxuries in the world. You know,
But you can be happy with what you
but I was
have.
happy with what I had. Exactly, absolutely, and definitely when like before getting my car, like in my teenage years, I was more like that. Maybe when I was a bit younger, I was a little bit more stubborn, but in my teenage years, I became more understanding, and now I'm a lot more understanding, especially being like a father. But like I'm grateful that my daughter, even at the age of 3.5, she's that understanding that like sometimes she'll be like, I wish I can get this toy and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, baby, I can't get it, and she'll be like, yeah, no, it's okay. Like she'll be like, she won't fight me. She won't be like, oh, why can't we? Why do we have no money? Nothing like that. She's just like, oh, okay, it's fine. And then she enjoys like the toys and time stuff that she has now, and especially like when you watch Instagram and Facebook Reels and all that. Like if you really look at your kid and then spend time with your kid, you'll learn more than anything that your kid just wants to spend time with you. Like that's all they want. Like you can buy them the nice fanciest toys. You can get them a I got my kid a Barbie house and a Hogwarts house and all these houses and stuff like that. And as much as she plays with it, she wants to play with it with me. Like those toys don't replace me. She just wants to play with me with them
Yes.
and stuff like that. So like I'm sure my dad wanted to do the same growing up, was spend more time with me. So I think that's why at the age he is now, he's a little bit regretful that he wasn't able to do it. But we definitely try to make the most of that time now. And that's why last year was a new experience for me to take my family on vacation. Remember I told you like I took my mom on
Yes.
vacation and she was like,
Yes. That
are
was
you off?
amazing.
And like I took my dad. My dad originally wasn't gonna come, but I'm thankful because he was convinced by my daughter. And you know what my daughter said? My daughter was straight up like if you don't come on vacation, what are you gonna do at home? You're gonna be the only one home alone. And my dad was like, all right, you have a point. Because like my brother is home, but my brother goes out often, right? But my daughter was like, me, grandma, mom, and dad, we're all gonna be on vacation, and you're gonna be home alone. And my dad was like, all right, you have a fair point. I'm gonna come. And like
Oh
everyone had
wow.
fun. I just like okay, these are like memories I'm creating now, and
And then it's
it's
the
it's
journey.
it's it's nice to be able to do it now. Is where it's at. Because I'll remember like the stupid stuff. Like they're not
No.
really fond about going out to eat. And like we went out to a Mexican restaurant, and they're like, oh, we're not that hungry. We don't want to eat, right? And like they brought they they bought a burrito, right? That like one person bought it and it was cut in half. You know how they give you like a burrito in half or whatever. It was a very nice Mexican restaurant. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called like Senor Frog in Myrtle Beach.
Mhm.
So go out there. It's very good. And it I didn't think it was gonna be enough food, so I ordered nachos with it, right? And my mom and my dad were like, "Oh, you ordered so much food, we're not gonna finish this, right?" They cleaned the plates with the food, and I was like, "You guys are such liars," like what it was. They didn't think they would enjoy the food as much as they thought they would, right? But as they ate it, they just kept eating it, and like they'd eat some nachos and eat the burrito and
Ooh.
stuff like that, and they kind of like they loved it. And then I like I bought some pizza one day. I don't think we went out to another restaurant after that, but then we just went out. The weather wasn't the greatest, but like it was cold. My mom loves the ocean, so we went to the ocean, things like that. So I'm thinking about trying to maybe go again this year in a little bit warmer weather and take my parents with me again. um but I don't know. Like I think it's just
Yeah, I remember Starla had actually share time shares in Myrtle Beach.
yeah, yeah. So in my case,
Yeah,
it lucked
Susie
out.
had.
In my
It
case, it
was
lucked
nice.
out because I have a friend whose uncle owns a condo down there.
Okay.
So if it's off season, he'll let us go there,
Oh,
and
that's
and
nice.
he'll
That's
charge us like
nice.
cleaning fee and stuff like that.
That's nice.
But like the thing with all seasons, sometimes it's shoddy, sometimes the weather's good, sometimes it's not. Um,
Yeah,
things of that
that's me.
nature.
I call it
But
hometown. I love that town.
yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm happy to be at a point in life right now, especially that we're good. Like we're on our all on our health journeys as well. My parents are older. My dad's in his he's gonna be he's gonna be 80 in 2 years.
Oh
So
wow.
so he's gonna turn 79 this year. Yeah, 2026.
Yeah, the big 80 coming up.
Yeah, which is insane, which is actually insane. And like he's still very healthy. He does like yard work. Like at home he sleeps a lot because he's like bored at home. So he'll spend time with my
Mm-hmm.
daughter and my daughter will force him to go for a walk and things like that. And right now both my mom and dad are chilling. They're in India, they're traveling. Um
Which is cool.
and like we'll send money when we can, and they just go out
Mm-hmm.
there and they travel, they see different things, and I'm so happy for them. And then now it's like they come home, but they mainly come home because it's like they have us at home, my wife and my
Oh
my
my
daughter.
god, I have all stinky bugs crawling on me. Oh,
Yee.
anyways, I know. I'm like, what smell? The whole podcast, I've been smelling
This
the
thing,
stinky bug. I'm like,
the
ah. And
the
now it's
the stink
revealed
the stink
on
bug
me.
wanted to be part of the podcast this year. New
Ah,
smells, new smells for 2026.
and there's two of them.
Oh no,
Okay,
it's
time
okay.
taking.
That
Yes, my sister's turning 50 years old this year in March. And my brother is turning 55 in the end of this month. So I have
Wow.
like a big round dates, right? Usually what it is my grandma turned 90 the year before, and then my mom turned 75, and now my sister's gonna be 50 and my brother's 55. So everybody's like round dates,
That's actually crazy if you think about it. Like we're
right?
we're we're getting to that age that like our parents were, when we were born, and I think it's just crazy to think about.
I need to kill it.
I heard the death stomp, so that's
It's
the end
coming
of that
out!
one. That's the end of that one. Oh,
We killed it.
too
Sorry, I'm a
young.
murderer of
Yeah,
stink bugs.
listen, you
But you
gotta
know
do what
what?
you gotta do what you do. You gotta do what you
They're
gotta do.
crawling on me. Like, I don't want you to crawl on me. Woo! Like a scary movie.
You know what I need to do? I was trying to convince my daughter to get
Okay,
a
don't kill me.
I was trying to convince my daughter, instead of getting a fish, to get a Komodo dragon, because if we get a Komodo dragon, they'll eat the bugs. So I was like, we should really just get a Komodo dragon, and they're really funny little animals too. So I don't know, well, we'll see. But yeah, these
Oh
are
my
the new
goodness.
things to look forward to this year, and I'm very excited.
Definitely. It's lots to do. Living the journey. The best thing is not rush forward. Don't think about past. Just stay in the moment right now. Because right now we're having the best time. And we're creating memories right now.
I think with that, and more than anything, is like, don't stay focused on the stuff that you can't do. You focus on the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you can do. Focus on the stuff that you did do. It's like it. I
Pat
really
yourself on the
thought.
shoulder. Be
Yeah,
like,
no, no.
hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing
Pat
great.
yourself on the back. Absolutely, no, I 100% agree. Because
Yeah.
like,
Be
you know,
proud
I,
of yourself.
there's a lot that when I think about now, like I'm just like, there's so much I've done, and like, I should be more proud of myself than I am. And like obviously we still have stories to tell. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and we have so much more to go, both with personal lives, professional lives, and even just like the podcast itself, right? There's so much still so many things to come, so many things to look forward to, so many dreams to share, so many lives to talk through, right? I think next week we have a guest returning, and they've been going through a journey in their own lives, right? And I from we won't reveal or talk too much about it. It's I'll just say it's a new chapter in life, and I do want to hope that we will be helpful. I know some people have to just kind of let things out and let things be, but
Yes.
just in general, I think we're gonna have a very exciting 2026. I really do think so.
Yes. Let's make the best of it every single second of our lives.
Yeah. So hopefully, guys, tune in next week with our guest, and yeah, we continue to hopefully look forward to more storytelling, more laughs and tears and stuff to share. These
Yes.
were the first tears shed in 2026 on the podcast, and it only took two episodes. Yeah. So we'll go there.
Yes.
But honestly, we would like
Yes.
to thank you again, humbly from the bottom of our hearts. I'm trying to get a merch store working, and things like that. Rose, actually, we can talk a little bit later, but I'm actually looking to fly out to Atlanta sooner than later, just so we
Okay.
can get some other things running as well. But to our
That's
podcast
important.
and to
Yes.
our fans and groups and stuff like that, we want to say we appreciate you, and we thank you for being part of our family.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
cheers to you guys.
Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, listening in your free time when you have time, re-listening some of the episodes. It's great to re-listen. Some of the episodes like, oh, let me listen to this one. It was so good, right? Thank you so much for taking your time in the car listening us on Spotify. And of course, we love you from bottom of our hearts. And thank you so much for investing your time in this beautiful show and having a great outcomes and enjoying what we have
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. And yeah, no, I'm happy to say we're very caught up on Spotify now, minus last episode where Rose could hear me,
Yay!
but nobody else could. Um, but
Sorry, lip singing. I hope they can
yeah,
read your
exactly.
lips.
Just read my lips, and I think you know what we need to do. We need to start getting subtitles. I need to get like an auto generated
Yes,
subtitles, and then just let that go through. But
that's
honestly,
an
guys,
idea.
we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we look forward to not just a fun 2026, but we take it a week at a time, and we'll see you guys next week. So cheers to you
Yes.
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, and
Cheers, guys.
we'll see you next week. Have a motivated day. Take care.
Have a motivated day. Bye bye.